Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616, where yesterday the Runaways had its official panel at the 2017 New York Comic Con, and in it, not only did they release the first trailer to the public, but they also played the first episode of Runaways Season 1 to the audience. So today, I'm going to break down the trailer a bit and also go over some of the things viewers have learned from the New York Comic Con panel, as well as reactions to the first episode. But before all that, really quickly, I'd like to say a lot of you probably noticed that Friday came and went and there was no video. I'm sorry about that, I just wasn't really able to do it yesterday. And I figured the multiple videos on the way for New York Comic Con would make up for it. I announced this on my Twitter page, so if you want to stay updated with my schedule as well as find out what videos I'm uploading a couple of hours early, you can follow me there on Twitter. Link in the description. But regardless, the trailer for Runaways is very good. The song that plays during it is Don't Run by Mr. Little Jeans, and gives it a very neat feel. The first episode, according to MCU Exchange, was actually filled with music, but in a very neat, non-distracting way. They said it was kind of like there was a cool DJ playing a beat in the background the whole time. In the trailer, we see pretty much the whole cast, including both the Runaways and the Pride, but also Julian McMahon's character, as well as Destiny Gonzalez, the girl the Pride sacrifices at the beginning. We also get a very, very brief glimpse of Old Lace in what looks like the first time she meets Gert, based on Gert's reaction to her. Obviously, this is just the very tip of her nose in a darkly lit and very short scene, but based on what we can see, the CGI actually looks pretty decent. I really hope they don't just do what they did with Lockjaw and find some way to have her disappear for the whole season. That'd be disappointing. On top of that, we see a good bit of Carolina's powers and a hint towards Molly's. Although the show is reportedly very faithful to the comics, there are some changes that have to be made out of necessity, and one of them is Molly. In the comics, Molly is a mutant, and of course she can't be that here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I am quite interested to see just what she is and what she can do here, especially considering so far we haven't gotten any confirmed castings for her parents at all. But there's also reportedly one big change that's made to it that apparently is super big and really alters the way the story moves forward from the comics. No one gave any hints as to what it is, but I do have a theory based on the trailer, and I'd like to share it. If you don't want to be possibly spoiled, then simply mute the volume and wait until this picture of Old Lace goes away. But my guess comes from one shot in the trailer that comes after we see the kids' reactions to witnessing their parents' crimes. That being one where the Pride looks up towards the balcony we're told the kids are on. It isn't outright confirmed, but this seems to imply that the Pride sees them. This is a big change from the comics, where it actually took a couple of issues before the Pride ever knew their kids saw them. This makes sense to change, as it would give the show a much more immediate sense of danger, and would also help the plot be a bit more streamlined. Moving on from that, we've also learned one other detail that's kind of a spoiler. If you've read the comics, it's not really, and they did just say it, so it must not be that big a deal. But it has been confirmed that the Gibberum are in Runaways. For those who don't know, in the comics, the Gibberum are an alien race of giants who the Pride worships. It's why they're doing all the human sacrifices and such. Now, we don't see them, but I'm gonna guess they'll look pretty different here than they do in the comics. They'll probably be much smaller due to budget restraints, and also a bit less goofy looking to make them more menacing. Regardless, what did people think of the first episode, which is titled Reunion? Well, the reaction was pretty positive. People loved it, which is great to hear after Iron Fist and Inhumans bombed with the critics, and even the Defenders didn't quite live up to expectations. Marvel really needs a straight-up win on par with how Daredevil was for them, and I think Runaways will accomplish that. IGN said that while the first episode wasn't perfect, they thought it was still quite good and certainly showed promise of getting much, much better. Overall, it looks and sounds amazing, and I'm super excited for all of this. I just cannot wait. The first episode of Runaways will go on Hulu on November 21st, 2017. But before I go, I'd like to update my New York Comic Con plans a bit. You probably know that the Punisher's New York Comic Con panel was cancelled, and its premiere was also apparently pushed back a bit. So I don't think there will be any Punisher news this weekend, unfortunately, but the panel has been replaced with a Stan Lee event of some kind. And while Marvel hasn't confirmed it yet, I'm hoping they'll put some of the non-Punisher stuff they had planned in there. This particular panel is neat because it wouldn't be focused on just one show. They could talk about anything, really. So I'm hoping that during this, they have a teaser for Jessica Jones Season 2, and maybe some news for the other Netflix shows as well. And they could also take this chance to show off some stuff for Cloak and Dagger, and maybe even New Warriors. Obviously, it's too short notice for them to come up with anything they weren't already planning for this weekend, but still, there's a lot of opportunity here. Also, part of me is really, really hoping they announce a Ghost Rider show here. Just a fanboy dreaming, I know, but I'm still hoping they do. But what do you guys think? Let me know all your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
This is some Narnia shit. What is happening?